to talk about 3 ways that we can decrease our credit utilization, because I think if you are wanting to increase your credit score fast, the best way to be able to do it is by tackling your credit utilization. Now, when we look at our credit score, it's made up of 5 components. So we have our payment history, our credit utilization, our length of credit, our new credit, and our credit mix. Now, our payment history and our credit utilization is 65% of our credit score. But if you really want to increase your credit score fast, I really think that it's best to tackle your credit utilization. Now, what is your credit utilization? Credit utilization is, let's say you have a $10,000 credit limit, but you owe $3,000. So that's going to give you a 30% utilization. And 30% is not bad, because they usually say 30% or less. That's going to be good. But I love to go on to Experian. On the Experian website, they have this thing called the score ingredient. And the score ingredient talks about the 5 parts of our credit score, and it talks about our credit utilization. So it's saying if we want to be high achievers, then we want to tackle our credit utilization. And we really want it to be, I want to say maybe 7% or less. Now, let me know in the comments, what is your current utilization? Or do you even think that if you have a 0% utilization, is that going to impact your credit score? Now, in my opinion, I think that it's always good to report to the credit bureau utilization, but we don't want to pay interest on our credit cards. Now, let me know in the comments, would you want me to do a video talking about how we can report credit utilization to the credit bureau but not pay interest? Now, the first tip is, I'm going to say, to increase our credit limit. So we can do this by asking the credit card company or the bank if we can do a credit line increase. And what this is going to do is, this is going to increase our credit utilization, because we're not going to owe as much, because now we have a higher credit limit. And so that's what we want to do. Now, ultimately, we do want to pay down our debt, but if you can do a credit line increase, you can do that really quick, then that would be easy to do. Now, the only thing is that you really want to check your credit to see how is my credit looking. And I would say if you have over 50% credit utilization, then most of the time, banks or credit unions is probably not going to be saying that you can do a credit line increase anyway. But I would rather ask, and maybe they tell me no, than not to do it at all. Now, I would say number 2, while this really should be number 1, I would say to pay down debt, because this is going to be very important, because the whole point of us using credit is that we're using credit responsibly. So I think that it's best to use our budget, how much money do we have coming in compared to going out, and only using the money that we have available on our credit cards. Because pretty much for me, I use my credit cards for probably 90% of my expenses, and then I just pay the credit card off. So that's the best way to do it. And if we can, let's say if you have 50% credit utilization, if you can pay down to 30 or 20%, you're going to be able to increase your credit score really, really fast. So that's why I say either by being able to get a credit line increase or pay down debt, that's going to really help. And you can always go into the description and check out my 2025 digital budget planner on my Etsy shop. And the digital budget planner is to help us to organize our finances so that we know how much money we have coming in compared to going out. And so check that out. I think that's a really good way by organizing our finances. Third thing is, can we open up a credit card? So to be able to get a new credit card and do the spend on that, then that would be a good thing to do, because you're doing 2 things at one time. 1, you're getting that bonus because you're getting that minimum spend, but then 2, you are being able to increase your credit utilization because you have new line of credit that is going to, increase your line of credit for your overall utilization. So that's going to help to where it's going to decrease your utilization. So let me know in the comments, which one are you going to be doing? And overall, We really just want to make sure that we're using credit responsibly, because especially since we are getting new credit cards and using credit cards, we really want to make sure that we're paying the card down, because if we are getting the points, cash back, and things like that, and then we are paying interest, especially with interest being over 26% or higher on regular credit cards. And then on top of that, if we're opening store and retail credit cards, because I just did a video the other day talking about how those interest rates are, even 35% or higher. And so with all this interest, really, we want to keep our money. We don't want to be paying the banks and the credit unions interest. We want our money to be in our pocket. So that's why I think it's best to pay down the, whatever we owe, and, every month do it, opposed to just, using our credit cards all the time and only paying the minimum, payment, because it's going to take forever to pay that down. Now, let me know in the comments which one of these are you going to be doing, or let me know if there are some other tips that you are doing to be able to decrease your credit utilization so that we can get those high credit limits and we can open up new credit cards. But then also, let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video on how I use my credit cards for pretty much all of my spending, and I report to the credit bureau, but I don't pay interest. If you're interested in knowing how to do that, let me know in the comments. I definitely hope that this video was helpful. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified when new content drops. I thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Are you looking for a way to keep track of your monthly budget? Well, check out my 2025 digital budget planner. I posted it on my Etsy shop. You can go into the description and click on the link. In the budget, you have goal setting, you have a monthly budget, a debt repayment, you have a savings tracker. So check out the 2025 digital budget planner on my Etsy shop. It's not a game.